Hi, my name is V. This is my '84 LTD Station Wagon. It originally came out of Tucson. It was in somebody's yard out there. Had definitely been off-roaded and by somebody's grandkids, I'm sure, and run over a bunch of cacti. And we brought it up here, pulled a whole trash can load of cacti out of the fenders and the hood and every crevice that you could think of. Pulled the V6 out of there and started getting to work. It's had all the panels and all the suspension and everything replaced with all Fox Body stuff. It's got disc brakes all the way around, bare brakes in the front. It's got a 5-liter turbocharged in it with a TKX 5-speed transmission. Most of the interior I tried to keep as original as possible, but we still kept air conditioning and heating, and it's actually got an original power seat on the driver's seat. It's actually power. It's got a 8.8 posi rear end.
What's the 302 out of, and what did you do with it?
This one actually is the 4th motor that's in the car. The first 3 were trial and error explosions. But this one, I believe, came out of a car, had somewhere around 120,000 miles. Good friend of mine, Andy, and I took it apart, put all the good bits and pieces in it. Right before we took a road trip to LA, to Irwindale for a car show out there, we had about 2 miles on the motor and everything before we left on that road trip. We stayed up all night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. before the, motor out, everything exchanged, motor in, 2-mile, test drive real quick, burped the cooling system, went home, packed up, and then we were off. We were off to Irwindale after that. It did great. There was a Lamborghini on the way there. We all had walkie-talkies, and the Lamborghini, I tried to play with them. They're like, "Don't do it. We're gonna blow up the 4th motor," But it was great. It was an awesome trip. We went to Irwindale for Fabulous Fords. We all got a big old Airbnb. It was an awesome trip. I think there was 6 or 7 wagons went on that trip. I want to say 7 LTDs, or 6 LTDs, 1 Fairmont. But yeah, that was an awesome trip. Let's see it. So my purpose for this car was to make it comfortable to drive, but also fast and good for road trips. So we do like the Route 66 fun run and other trips. We just, a bunch of friends, we go up to Prescott or, up Yarnell or Hill or somewhere. But I wanted it to be fun to drive, so the turbo and the 5-speed had to be or a blower. They had to be a part of it. But it's got air conditioning, power steering. It's got all the good stuff that was available for these cars at that time. It's we've got taken it drag racing. It's the best it's ever done was 11.4, I think, at 121 on a quarter mile.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
What are your plans for it from here?
From here, I'd just like it to keep it the way it is for now. Maybe later on I'd put a more modern engine. I'm not sure if a Coyote or a Megazilla or Godzilla motor might go in there at some time, but for now I've got about 10 or 11,000 miles on this setup, and it's fun. You know, it's like it's right at that peak of what the motor can handle, but it's, you know, riding that fine line of it's about to explode and it's still kind of reliable maybe.
I know, huh? Sounds great. Okay, you can feel that when you're standing behind it. That sounds awesome. I want to ask a dumb question. What is that right there?
That is the blow-off valve.
Okay.
So any excessive boost when you let off the throttle, it dumps it out of there rather than trying to shove it
okay.
into the motor.
I'm sure everybody watching this knows what that is.
There's a whole lot going on in there, but
Oh, bet.
it was like a jigsaw puzzle, but getting it all to fit.
Why'd you go with a turbo instead of a supercharger?
Well, at the time there was no turbo wagon, so I wanted to be the first one. And also, turbos are a little bit more efficient and they hit a little bit different. I like both, but just the sound of a turbo has always drew me in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's that's why I got one car, you know, one car with a blower, one car with a turbo, because
right.
they're both awesome. They both have their pros and cons.
Oh yeah.
But there's just, I mean, when you get on the throttle on the freeway and you just hear that turbo light up, it gets, you know, it gets the blood pumping every time. Yeah, it's a new weather strip.
Yeah. Love it. That's great. Let's take the wagon on a picnic.
Oh yeah.
We get there fast. Except that's all car stuff, right?
It's all his spare parts and detail.
Oh, it's not open.
Detail stuff.
That's all right. I was just going to open it. See what you can do with a picnic basket? That's awesome. Look at that. It doubles.
Zip ties, cap and rotor,
cool.
clutch cables, you know, all the essentials.
And stuff for lunch in case you get hungry. All right. No, say that again. What were you just saying?
Oh, I just put in the new to this car rear quarter panels and all the carpet just for the show. I've actually had the carpet and the panels for like a year. And so doing this has motivated me to get it done.
You needed an inspiration?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. No problem. All right. Get her buttoned up and go.
Let's do it. Took it across. He took it around, you know, around the neighborhood and freshened up the tires first. A lot of traffic for a Sunday. It never gets old.
No.
It never.
Yeah, we used to have a 427 Galaxy, and it was a radio delete car from the factory. And I had people at car shows, don't you want a radio in that? I said, no. Not when it's got solid lifters, 2 4-barrels and everything on it. Why would I want to?
Yeah.
I mean, that's music to my ears.
Yep. Even going on road trips, it just half the time I don't even turn the radio on.
Well, I would.
Just for the navigation.
Trans Am and say that yours is no longer the best burnout. That was freaking awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, that was so cool.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. Woohoo!
I had to break in the new tires.
That's right.
Yeah, oh yeah. I tell you, I'm so lucky to have a wife that loves cars too.
Yeah. That's a blessing. Big blessing.
It sure is.
At the duct tape drags this last year, I got a little bit of practice in the burnout box, and I was just going to blow off some steam and ended up being second in line for the competition. So it was actually on the last, I think it was the last episode or something of Roadkill. They featured this wagon in the burnout box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that was really fun. I got a little bit of practice, you know. Because, you know, you don't ever really get to do that kind of stuff. So, but man, it was awesome. And Derek from Vice Grip Garage was there. And, which that was like, I wanted to meet him. And they said in the sign-ups, they go, if there's one thing you want to do there, what do you want to do? I said, I want to have a beer with Derek. You know, and so he actually bought me a beer that night. And we it was one big party over there. It was awesome.
Oh, fun.
That's how car people are, though. They really are. They're awesome.
Yeah. The car community is one of the greatest communities that I've found. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We were coming back from the duct tape drags in 2023, I think, or 2022, and my motorhome had a big block 460 in it.
Yeah.
And it just died. Lost oil pressure and everything, and the two friends behind me, they pulled off with us within, you know, half hour, 45 minutes. We figured out that it sheared the roll pin on the distributor gear. So we pulled the distributor out. He had a spare distributor for a 5-liter. Pulled the roll pin out of that, put this one back together, and we were back on the road. But, you know, had they not stopped, yeah, it's been a lot of fun in this car. You make so many memories, you can't even consider selling it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And if you do, the price is just obscene. Like, you wouldn't want to sell it for nothing.
Exactly.